Have you ever stopped to think about what's happening when you speak? Every word you say is built from individual sounds, like pieces in a puzzle, and together they create meaning. Hey, I'm Habiba, and today we're exploring phonetics, the science of speech sounds. It's not just about talking, it's about understanding how we talk, from the physical mechanics of making sounds to how your brain interprets them. So, what is phonetics? Phonetics is the study of speech sounds. At its core, it answers three key questions. How are sounds produced? How do sounds travel? And how are sounds perceived? So first, let's explain how are sounds produced. It's about what your tongue, lips, and vocal cords are doing when you speak. For example, how do you say the sound T? Your tongue taps the roof of your mouth, stopping the airflow for a split second before releasing it. Next, how do sounds travel? Sound waves move through the air like invisible ripples, carrying your words to someone else. Finally, how are sounds perceived? Your brain takes those sound waves and transforms them into meaning, whether it's recognizing your name or catching sarcasm in someone's tone. Phonetics bridge the gap between the science of sound and the art of communication. It's about perception, clarity, and understanding what makes language tick. Phonetics is divided into three main branches, each focusing on a different aspect of speech. First, articulatory phonetics. This is about how we produce sounds. Your vocal tract is an intercut system. For example, when you say your lips close and the sound resonates through your nose. When you say k, the sound comes from the back of your throat. Each sound has a specific place and method of production. Next is acoustic phonetics. This branch studies the sound waves themselves, their frequency, duration, and intensity. Think of it like looking at the blueprint of a sound. It's why we can visualize accent or even distinguish voices in crowd. Finally, auditory phonetics. This is about perception. How does your brain distinguish the subtle difference between P and B? Or why do certain sounds in another language feel impossible to mimic? Now, let's get into the heart of phonetics, its core concepts. There are three main things to think about when we talk about sounds: where they are made, how they are made, and whether your vocal cords are involved. First up is the place of articulation. This is all about where the sound happens in your vocal tract. Basically, which part of your mouth or throat is doing the work. Let me give you some examples. Say P or B. Notice how both your lips come together to make the sound. That's called a bilabial sound. Now say T or D. Feel how your tongue touches the ridge right behind your upper teeth. That ridge is called the alveolar ridge. So these are alveolar sounds. Finally, try K or G. These sounds are made at the back of your mouth, near your soft palate. That's what we call alveolar. Next is the manner of articulation. This is about how the air moves when you make sounds. Think of it as the airflow's personality. Here's how it works. For sounds like P or T, the airflow is completely blocked for a moment and then released. These are called stops. Now try S or F. So can you hear the continuous S or F? That's because the air is being squeezed through a narrow space. These are fricatives. And then there are sounds like or where the air flows out through your nose instead of your mouth. These are called nasal sounds. And finally, we have voicing. This is all about whether or not your vocal cords vibrate when you make a sound. Here's a quick trick to feel it. Say zzz and put your fingers on your throat. Can you feel that buzzing? Well, that's a voiced sound. Now say s. Notice that there is no buzz this time. That's a voiceless sound. So that was all for today. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.